Hi guys, Deb Watson here, and today we're painting my favorite bird. You can download the free outline at watsonwatercolor.com. The direct link is listed below the video. This painting glows, and it's simple to paint because it uses mainly three colors: yellow, turquoise, and my dark is a mix of dioxazine purple and turquoise. If you don't have the purple, you can use black. We're going to start with the flower, which is very simple. It's yellow with white highlights. Just look at the photo as to where to leave the white highlights. I didn't draw the white parts in because I didn't want the pencil lines to show. This flower is very light. And don't forget to paint, there's a little bit of flower peeking through the other side of the stem. Now here's where the orange accent comes in. While the yellow is still wet, just add a tiny bit of orange and let it spread softly. This flower is called jewelweed, and our photo today is from Pixabay. Start the bird with some of the dark features, being careful as you paint a line at the bottom of the beak and continue that up and around the eye. They look very fierce because of this dark area. There's a line of dark at the back of the head and along the top of the back wings, lining the feathers. You can see that I drew in some of the tiny feather marks with a pencil. I think they add a lot, and they will still show through the painting, or you can add them back in with paint on top. The top of the head is a line of the dark mix. Then rinse your brush so that you have water and blend the dark up so it's lighter at the top and darker down by the eye. For the spots or the color on the neck, mix a touch of orange with the dark to make more of a brown. You can paint this with just a wash of color if you don't want to do the spots, but I love detail. Bigger, darker spots go in the middle of the head and smaller, browner spots on the neck. I think that was the hardest part. The back is turquoise. And then darken up the wing shadows. The tail gets an accent of black, leaving some of the top unpainted. Now that the head is dry, I'm going to add spots on the solid area with dark. The underside of the bird is watered down turquoise and a dark line above the wing. Start the wing with a wash of watered down dark mix. Paint this on dry paper, but stop before the edges of the wing so you don't get a hard edge. Then rinse your brush and wet the bottom part with clean water. The bottom gets an orange dark mix for a dark brown color. The forward wing gets more of the turquoise at the top, and the far wing needs painted with a wash of watery dark mix, just leaving the bottom unpainted. Now for some shading. A light wash of your brown dark mix goes over the bottom of the bird. leaving a spot of white near the top and on the right side of the neck. For the leaves and the stems, mix your turquoise with the yellow. Paint the leaf with thicker paint on the left and get more watery as you paint across so it's not one flat color. The other leaves and stems, you can make your green even more yellow-green and watery. They're very light. Next, it's time to deepen the shadow colors. Compare your painting to the reference photo and decide what needs to be darker. Use your dark purple mix, or you can add some of the other colors to tone it down if it looks too purple. This is the part of painting that will make your subject look very realistic, adding the shadows in the right places and the right values. I build my shadows up with several layers, and I keep my reference photo on a screen, like a phone, an iPad, or a laptop, so that you can not only see clearly, but you can zoom in on the detail to see exactly what you're painting. Finally, it's time for the background. I'm going to add a background using the same colors. Now, some tips for a smooth background. Number 1, use a soft wash brush. The bigger the better. For a smooth background, be sure you mix a wash ahead of time and mix more paint than you think you're going to need. Check it on scrap paper to see the color and value. Most of this background will be yellow-green, but I'll be adding some of the purple turquoise mix to darken some areas and add more interest. Okay, wetting your paper is important. Don't rush through this step. If you want your paper to stay wet longer and lay flat, wet the back of it first, really well. Then turn it over and wet the top half of the paper. Now, I'm using 300-pound paper, which is very thick and it doesn't buckle. But if you wet the back of your paper well and keep your paper evenly damp, it should lay flat. Take your time and do a good job. For a smooth wash, load your brush with paint. Start at one side and work across. I can get in close to the subject with the tip of my brush. It has an excellent point. This is a silver black velvet oval wash brush. But you can also use a small brush as you paint along to get close to your subject. Just put most of the wash on with the large wash brush. The right side is light green, but it needs some variation for interest, so I'm charging in more of the colors, but I'm staying away from the bird. Then paint the bottom half in pretty much the same way. Notice I'm just dancing the brush across the wet paper to lay the colors on. I'm never doing long brush strokes. Laying down a wash is not like painting a wall. You don't want to put down paint and then spread it out. You just want to put the color where you want it. I'm putting the wash right over the far wing. Before it dries, evaluate how it looks. If the paper is still evenly damp, you can continue to work on it. If it's starting to dry, You'll have to dry it really well and then re-wet it again before you add more color. It's looking pretty good. I think the front wing could use a touch more and maybe a bit more orange for accent in the flower. But here's my finished painting. I hope your Hummer turns out well too. Visit Watson Watercolor for more free tutorials and painting tips. And have fun painting. Share it with your friends and your family. Painting will improve your life if you give it just a little of your time and attention. Happy painting!